Love, light, and blessings, shamanic Awak priestess, and
That's your name.
my daughter, shamanic Awak priestess junior. And so this is my beautiful 20-year-old daughter who used to come out on my channel when she was younger. Now she's all grown up. But I made a recent video and I'm trying to get to all the comments, so I've been answering them now, but it'll take me time. But thank you so much for all the comments, all the feedback, all the love on my last video, which was basically calling some people out, Lucy Cavendish, on whitewashing the spirits. Like she has a, I think it's Oracle of the Mermaids, where she portrayed Yemaya as a white person. And I watched back my video and I really listened to the part when I was saying how we have to create our own platform. I never went into YouTube or spiritual business as a deck creator. That was never something that I had any intention of doing. I'm not an artist. My daughter is a great artist. She has that sun that's up there that you guys see in a lot of my videos. So she's really great at drawing people. Mama, you gotta sit down so they can see your beautiful face. She's camera shy. So I'm gonna hire her as an artist. So this is gonna be a collaboration video. So half of the proceeds are going to her, the other half is going to me, and of whatever we make from this deck. And I'm also gonna so for every purchase that you guys make, 10% of the proceeds are also gonna go to Black Lives Matters or any type of organization that supports any youths of African descent or indigenous descent, basically people of color, marginalized people of color. So I'm going to start looking at different organizations. I do want to donate to these things. There's a lot. So anybody from the LGBTQ plus IA plus is already marginalized. So imagine on top of that being a black person, being an indigenous person, a person of color that's already has disadvantages because of society and the racial system in which we have going on. Let's be real, this country was founded on white supremacy and various other countries as well. So I feel that I want to donate to that. So 10% of the proceeds on this deck is going to be donated to that. So that's my portion of it. So I'm going to get 40% of it, and I'm giving half to my daughter. Also, this is not going to be a tarot deck. I'm going to take that project on in the future. I'm a little intimidated but excited. I feel like one of my biggest pet peeves is actually goddess decks. So instead of talking about it, I think I'm going to help to create a story, create a narrative. I think it's time that we, from the Afro Caribbean and indigenous people of the diaspora of the Caribbean, need to start telling our stories. Okay, so this is what this oracle deck is going to be. There's going to be more than one path. This is not going to be strictly just an Orisha deck, strictly a Loa deck. I'm going to include indigenous archetypes, or not even archetypes, because they're not archetypes. I'm going to include indigenous deities. Okay, so I'm going to focus on my lineage, so Taino. If somebody's looking to actually have real Taino representation of our deities, the semis and things like that, that is going to be included, because Tainos did contribute not only to the names of Haiti, not only naming Puerto Rico, Cuba. And Cuba and various Caribbean islands. They were the first inhabitants before the murderer, adulterer, and rapist Christopher Columbus garbage face came to the Caribbean. There was Taino people there before. So I feel like their story is never told. A lot of people don't even realize that a lot of Caribbean people have indigenous inheritance, that the Tainos never died out. They even have scientific studies that yes, while Tainos did racially mix for survival, they did not die out. You cannot die out if your DNA still is in the blood of us. Like their DNA is in our blood. So I feel like it's time to tell their story. It's time to tell the stories of the Haitians and the Loas. It's time to tell the stories of the Puerto Ricans and islands that do, serve the Orishas. So I'm going to make not a goddess deck. It's not going to be called a goddess deck at all. I refuse to whitewash my spirits, and I will not assimilate them. I'm going to call them loas and orishas in this deck. I'm going to try to be as respectful as possible. I'm also going to be seeking the advice of my elders from my spiritual house and other people that I know in my personal life, because I want to make sure this is as accurate as possible. I'm going to also be creating a guidebook with my oldest son. He's a great writer. He's going to be editing and co-creating this deck with me. The deck is actually going to give you stories about these spirits. And for those that actually want to learn more about ATRs and religions of the diaspora, I'm going to be offering classes in the future if you want to use this deck. This is going to be its own system. So it's not going to be like an oracle, feelings, love, tropicals, flowers. It's going to be light, shadow, darkness. Each deity is going to be picked out. It might not even be a 48 card or a 44. This is going to be more like a tarot oracle, like some infusions of tarot elements infused with oracles. So think of like the psychic tarot or tarot of the heart, where it's like 65 cards and there's some like tarot influences, and that's, I love that deck. Or like the energy oracle, where it's like it's an oracle deck but it has very Lenormand tarot type of energy. That's what I want to create. So definitely look out for that. This is going to be independently produced. I'm wanting to put this out February of 2021 to celebrate Black History Month. So so look out for that, February 2021. I don't want to do Kickstarter. So the reason why I mentioned Doreen Virtue's, I have rare out of print decks. I also have the Victorian Fairy, and they're worth quite a good amount of money, because I have the Goddess one, the Ascended Masters, and a bunch of other ones that I've looked up on Amazon. Used is $150. My decks are not even open, so mine can go for $300 or more. What I'm gonna do with this, instead of doing a Kickstarter, I'm going to invest this money. So I'm not gonna sell this to like people in the tarot community. I'm actually gonna sell this to people that are gonna pay full price for it, because that money is gonna go into paying for the art supplies, paying for the card company. So I'm gonna use Doreen Virtue, who culturally appropriated Yemaya in that deck, in the Goddess deck. So I'm gonna use that money. Someone who highly disrespected the spiritual community, I'm going to flip it around to positive energy, because I'm going to use it to go into creating my own deck. So that's why I'm not making videos about the decks that I have. I'm actually planning to sell them for full price, because I need to come up with $1,000 or more to actually come up with the art supplies. I have to hire a printing company. This will be a limited edition first print. So I'm only going to make a limited amount, because depending on the support that I receive from the community. But basically, this is going to be finally our story from the perspective of a brown person, because I feel that it's important. We need to stop inviting them to our table. I mean, we need to stop begging them to go into their table, is what I meant. We can invite them to our table, but I feel like it's time that we take it back. Maybe this is going to inspire other readers and other content creators to make their own decks and sell them, because I think it's time that we start a movement. I think it's time that we start telling our stories, our narratives. The Hoodoo Tarot is also an inspiration for me. I love that a dark-skinned, beautiful Black woman finally made a deck about conjure. Whether she practices or not, it doesn't matter. It is well researched. I love it that she made a deck respectfully of the African American traditions that were created in the United States through a very dark time. A lot of people talk about the Holocaust and how horrible that was. We went through our own Holocaust, and ours lasted for hundreds of years. So I think that it's time that we, as Black and Indigenous people, as people of color, as marginalized people, people from the LGBTQIA plus community, we need to start making our own decks. We need to start telling our own stories. We don't need to have them tell our stories. It's time that we rose up and we told our stories. So I'm going to put my money where my mouth is, and I'm going to start this movement. And I hope that it inspires people. After 2 years of you guys asking me to do this, it is going to happen. And I'm also going to share the journey of creating. This is my first baby, so I'm going to share with you the ups and downs. I'm going to share with you some of the artwork to get you guys excited about this this project that I'm going to venture into. So if you want to support this project, and you like to collect out of print rare decks, this will be a good way for you to support this creation, because I am going to sell them for the on market price, because again, this is going to go towards me making a deck that I have always dreamed of. It is time to bring to the world the beauty that is spirits like Ezilidanto, Izilifreda, you know, Aida Wedo. You know what I mean? It's time that the world sees the beauty of Haitian voodoo. It's time that the world sees the true beauty of Oshun and Yemaya and Obatala and Shango. You know, it's time for the world to see these spirits come alive, these spirit stories to be told. I'm not perfect and I don't know everything, so I'm gonna try to go to other, you know, my other elders and things like that, because I want to portray the most respectful, loving portrayal of these spirits. So if you're interested in that, for those that want to reconnect with their ancestral roots, those that feel called to it, that are outside the culture and want to learn some things in a respectful way, support this. And much love, much light, and much blessings. Anything you want to say? Nothing she wants to say? So I'm going to be sharing her artwork, and my son's going to be collaborating with me too, so I'm really excited. Another one quick announcement I'm going to make. I am going to be relocating in the next couple of months. It's why I'm taking that last week off, you know, the August 31st to that first week of September off, because we're packing little by little. So we're going to be moving out in the next 2 or 3 months, because I'm moving into a new home that is also going to have space for me to finally have a physical botanica, Afro Caribbean based. That's going to be ran by me, my oldest daughter, and my son. So it's going to be a family business. There's going to be a physical store and an online store. So look out for that towards the end of this year to the beginning of next year. That's going to be on my website. You will now have a one-stop shop. So not only will I, and I'm starting to do this in August, take on new spellwork clients, I'm going to be having a botanica. So if you can't get to the location, you can order things online. And they're going to feature hard to get objects. So anybody who practice conjure, hoodoo, or any of the Afro Caribbean spiritual based practices, you will be able to get supplies from me. On top of that, my home will be open, because I'm going to have a bigger home, to clients that want to see me in person to buy products from me, or for me to actually do rituals for you guys. So look out for that. It's literally going to be your one-stop espiritista starting next year. That's what's going to happen. So big things are coming up, guys. Much love, much light, much blessings. And I'm currently booked up to August 10th due to high demand. So make sure you get your readings today. Book those readings, guys. Much love, much light, much blessings. Thank you so much for watching this video, guys. Until the next video. Bye.